Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and a very warm welcome to Government House Yarralumla. Dawa Nuna, Dawa Ngunnawal. I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we meet, the Ngunnawal people, and pay my respects to their elders, past and present, emerging leaders, and Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders gathered here today. My name is Paul Singer, and I'm the official secretary to the Governor-General. And as this badge signifies with its crossed quills, I'm also the Secretary of the Order of Australia, whose Council recommends appointments and awards in the Order's General Division to the Governor-General, who is Chancellor and Principal Companion of the Order. I'm also Secretary to the Australian Bravery Decorations Council, the body which makes recommendations to the Governor-General for bravery awards. Before we start today's ceremony, I'd like to acknowledge that despite the challenges posed by the current pandemic, we are delighted to be able to host this ceremony in a COVID-safe manner. We are grateful for your understanding of and compliance with the measures put in place to assist with everyone's safety. Today is a special day, not only for recipients, but also for their families, friends, and communities. It is a day when we celebrate a diverse range of impressive achievements and service. The Australian Honours System provides a wonderful mechanism through which we as a nation can recognise and celebrate ordinary people who do extraordinary things. Since its inception in 1975, over 420,000 people have been recognised for their meritorious, bravery, military or national service. The Order of Australia is the principal means of recognising outstanding service, and it's important to note that nominations come from all areas of the community. Anyone can nominate. As staff at Government House, my colleagues and I are privileged to play a small part in the recognition and celebration of that achievement. I hope we can help make today an occasion that you will all recall with pride for a long time to come. Shortly, I'll invite you to stand as Your Excellencies the Governor-General and Mrs Hurley enter the room. Please remain standing and join in the singing of the first verse of the Australian National Anthem. The investiture will then begin and proceed in the order listed in your programs. After I read their names and citations, the recipients will enter the room from the doorway on my right, and after they've been invested, will leave by the central aisle to take their seats at the back of the room. At this point, you may like to show your appreciation with a short applause as they take up their seat. At the conclusion of the ceremony, I'll invite recipients to join their Excellencies for a formal photograph on the state entrance stairs. To assist recipients in making their way to the state entrance, could I please ask that you remain in the room until the recipients have left the room for the photograph. Their Excellencies and the recipients will then join you after those photographs have been taken. So please relax and enjoy this very special occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand for the arrival of Your Excellencies the Governor-General of the Commonwealth of Australia and Mrs Linda Hurley, and remain standing for the singing of the Australian National Anthem.
Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are young and free. With golden soil and well-fought toil, our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts, of beauty rich and rare. In history's page let every state advance Australia fair. In joyful strength and let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please be seated.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to Government House Yarralumla this morning for a very special occasion for our recipients in particular this morning. We will conduct this ceremony due to our current constraints 22 times. So some of us will know the words of the national anthem very well in about 2 weeks' time. But as I heard Paul saying to you as I stood outside, please relax. This, of course, is a very formal occasion. There is pomp, there is protocol, and that is as it should be, because we are recognising Australians for their service to our country. But it is also an Australian service ceremony. So relax. You may smile, you may laugh, and you may clap at the appropriate times. And we wish this to be a very joyous occasion for everyone here in attendance today. I should begin this morning, though, by acknowledging that Yarralumla, Government House Yarralumla, sits on the land of the Ngunnawal people, and we do thank them for looking after this beautiful part of our country for generation after generation, and pay respect to their elders past and present. Now, recent experiences in our country over the last 6 months have proven to me, day after day, as Linda and I have contacted Rural Fire Service members, Country Fire Association members, mayors, councillors, school teachers, children, CEOs and chairs of charities, mayors of local government areas either hit by the pandemic, the economic effect of the pandemic, or the bushfires, that we are a people of strength. I've got no doubt about that. I've said in a number of speeches that you could say, I see our country through rose-coloured glasses. I don't. I see it every day for the goodness that's in it. And today, this ceremony and the following ceremonies are really a microcosm of our country and people's service to it. So I thank our recipients in advance. I thank their families for the support that goes into these activities. Linda and I know that you don't do this alone. And for all those here and who you represent in your families, thank you for what you do. The strength of our honours system is that nominees are nominated by their peers in our community. In a sense, it's a bottom-up system. Not like the old imperial system could be accused of being top-down, i.e. someone up there in the elite points to someone down and says they're doing a good job, we'll give them a medal. That doesn't happen in our system. This is from you, the broader community, and that's what we're recognising today. It's a strength and we need to maintain it. I'm going to ask you to do some homework for me at the conclusion of the ceremony. I'll leave you thinking about that so you'll be a bit alert as everyone goes through, and then I'll challenge you with some homework when we conclude the ceremony. Important thing now though, let's reflect the pride that we all feel for our recipients today. And on that note, I'll now begin the formal ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, to be presented with the insignia of her appointment as a member in the General Division, Professor Raylene Francis. For significant service to history studies as a teacher, researcher and author. Professor Francis is a scholar and public intellectual of high regard who has improved our knowledge of Australia's past. Her research achievements have advanced our understanding of the history of work, of women, of Aboriginal and non-Aboriginal contact, and of religious and community history. Additionally, she has played leadership roles in the university and museum sectors and has been involved in a range of professional associations devoted to humanities scholarship and intellectual practice. Professor Francis's career has embodied academic achievement and she has played an integral part in the thinking life of Australia. Professor Raylene Francis, appointed a member of the Order.
I can't lose my first one. Over here.
To be presented with the insignia of his appointment as a member in the Military Division, Captain Warren Bairstow, for exceptional service to the Royal Australian Navy in the field of command and leadership. Captain Bairstow has provided dedication and commitment to the Royal Australian Navy during a career of almost 40 years. As a qualified principal warfare officer, he has commanded HMAS ships Gladstone and Arunta and was deployed to the Middle East Area of Operations as Deputy Commander of Combined Task Force 150. He is actively involved in ensuring that the Armidale-class patrol boats were effectively introduced into naval service through the assigning of suitably trained and proficient crews. As Director New Generation Navy, he developed and implemented fundamental cultural reform. He's also delivered enhanced capability as the Commander Mine Warfare, Clearance Diving, Hydrographic, Oceanographic and Meteorological and Patrol Force. Captain Bairstow's devotion to duty has achieved outstanding results for both the Navy and the Australian Defence Force. Captain Warren Bairstow appointed a member of the Order.
Okay, Warren, come back. Thank you.
To be presented with the insignia of his award of the Medal of the Order in the General Division, Mr. Robert Austin, for service to veterans through a range of organisations. Mr. Austin has generously devoted his time and efforts to ensure appropriate recognition and commemoration for Australia's veterans. His drive and determination were instrumental in the upgrade of HMAS Sydney Mast Memorial and Precinct at Bradley's Head. He liaised with numerous stakeholders across multiple government and non-government organisations in order to have the precinct restored and then recognised as a Royal Australian Navy memorial. He has been an active member of the New South Wales Committee to commemorate the Battle for Australia, and he has also held the office of President of the Federation of Naval Ship Association in New South Wales. Mr. Austin, through his dedication and commitment, is an inspiration to us all. Mr. Robert Austin awarded the Medal of the Order. To be presented with the insignia of her award of the Medal of the Order in the General Division, Dr. Adele Shanawat, for service to public history. Dr. Shanawat has brought about reform in the museum sector by linking activism and human rights to museum curatorial practice. Whilst working as curator of the exhibition Inside Life in Australia's Homes and Institutions, she made the commitment to not only recognise this institutionalised history of abuse, but to actively work to get its history and its impact acknowledged. Additionally, her training and experience as a professional theatre director has informed her ongoing interest in semiotics and the associated politics of representation. Dr. Shanawat is a genuine role model and a well-respected figure in the theatre, in museums, and in the academic world. Dr. Adele Shanawat awarded the Medal of the Order. To be presented with the insignia of his award of the Bar to the Distinguished Service Cross, Brigadier John Shanahan, for distinguished command and leadership in warlike operations as the North Atlantic Treaty Organisation Resolute Support Headquarters Chief of Operations and as the Commanding General, Train, Advised, Assist Command South in Afghanistan from September 2017 to February 2019. Brigadier Shanahan served as the Chief of Operations in Headquarters Resolute Support and was responsible for coordinating operations involving over 15,000 personnel across Afghanistan. In 2018, he deployed forward to Kandahar Airfield to lead Resolute Support Tactical Headquarters Train, Advise, Assist Command South's execution of Operation Talon. He used his experience, battle space knowledge and leadership to ensure that the United States Army Command Team were able to meet the operational requirements and needs of the Afghan National Security and Defence Force. Brigadier Shanahan demonstrated personal resilience and endurance during his long deployment, excelling in the operational command of Allied forces. Brigadier John Shanahan awarded the bar to the Distinguished Service Cross. To be presented the insignia of his award of the Distinguished Service Cross, Colonel Michael Say, for distinguished command and leadership in warlike operations while deployed as the Commander Joint Task Group Taji 7 in Iraq during 2018. Colonel Say navigated Task Group Taji Rotation 7 through a period of significant operational change. The task group assumed formal responsibility for base command of the Taji military complex, which included the raising of a quick reaction force and increased liaison with the Iraqi security forces. He was able to double the capacity of the Iraqi Baghdad Fighting School to independently deliver brigade-level training. He also assumed responsibility for the effectiveness and morale of other local forces from the United Kingdom, Singapore, Germany, Sweden, the United States, Canada, and the Czech Republic. Colonel Say's distinguished performance as the task group's commander was exceptional and worthy of today's recognition. Colonel Michael Say awarded the Distinguished Service Cross. To be presented with the insignia of his award of the Conspicuous Service Cross, Lieutenant Colonel James Smith, for outstanding devotion to duty as Commander Australian Contingent and Chief of Operations, Operation Mazurka, Multinational Force and Observers Mission, Sinai, Egypt, from February 2018 to February 2019. Lieutenant Colonel Smith provided exceptional leadership during his deployment to the Multinational Force and Observers Mission. As Chief of Operations for the Australian Contingent from February 2018, he was instrumental to the efficient operations of the contingent. He identified an opportunity to assist the Fijian contingent, and his analysis and advocacy resulted in the allocation of additional personnel to provide mentoring and training assistance to the Fijians. Lieutenant Colonel Smith performed to an excellent standard and was relied upon by the Force Commander to implement significant reforms. Lieutenant Colonel James Smith awarded the Conspicuous Service Cross. To be presented with the insignia of his award of the Australian Fire Service Medal, Mr. Stephen Angus, for distinguished service to the ACT Rural Fire Service. Mr. Angus has been an active firefighter for the ACT Rural Fire Service since joining the Southern Districts Brigade in 1986. He has held a range of positions during his career, including as Brigade Captain, Brigade President, and Rural Liaison Officer. Through his links with the ACT Rural Landholders Association, he has built relationships with ACT fire agencies and land managers. He has also represented local landholders on the ACT Bushfire Council. He's been involved in 2 major fire events, namely the 2001 Christmas fires and the January 2003 Canberra fires. Mr. Angus is thoroughly deserving of our recognition and we honour him today. Mr. Stephen Angus, awarded the Australian Fire Service Medal. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the presentations this morning, and I now invite the Governor-General to speak.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have acknowledged each of the recipients individually. I think it is appropriate now to acknowledge them as a group. Well done. Now to your homework. You've noted the range of activities and events and contributions that people have made to our country. Here in Canberra, we're slightly military heavy given the nature of the population mix here. But in the broader community, there's a wide range of activities. You'll also keep a tally of the number of women who receive awards and the greater diversity or lack of in our award system. Your homework. Go home and help me fix that. You know who the people are in your community who are serving our nation at an extraordinary level. We need those people to be recognised. So go to our website, Facebook site, find out how to nominate, put your thoughts together and nominate. This is your system. The outputs are yours, guided by us, of course, but they are ours, frankly. So there's your homework. Want to see your nominations. Again, we look forward now to, at the conclusion of the ceremony, meeting you all. We'll go outside. I think you've been directed there already. But just to find out a bit more about our recipients. We know some, of course, and just to enjoy this occasion. So again, thank you for being here and thank you for your support for the recipients. And we look forward to enjoying a special time with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned earlier, and as the Governor-General has just issued you with his homework, anyone can nominate a fellow Australian. It's easy to do by accessing our online nomination form on the Governor-General's website. You never know, they may even receive an award at a ceremony similar to this in the future. I now invite today's recipients to join their Excellencies for photographs on the state entrance stairs. I ask the guests to briefly remain in the drawing room until refreshments are served. Please stand for the departure of their Excellencies and the recipients. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I now invite you to, under the direction